Thanks for making the decision to learn proper chalking procedures for saving lives and protecting assets in the mining industry with Checkers Industrial Safety Products. For over 25 years, Checkers has led the way in wheel chalk development. Our engineers work directly with industry experts and mine safety managers to ensure our field-tested wheel chalks fit the specific needs of the mining industry. We have submitted our wheel chalks to third-party laboratories to certify that each model meets the specifications indicated on the Checkers Wheel Chalk Reference Guide. As well, specific models of our monster wheel chalks meet and exceed the specifications required by the safety administrations of MSHA, OSHA, SAE, NFPA, and the DOT. Checkers' vision is to be a dynamic and growing organization dedicated to saving lives and protecting assets by delivering innovative safety products. Safety is our #1 priority. We have researched the cost of life and encourage our customers to look at safety as an investment and not a cost. Making a nominal investment in safety products can help eliminate or mitigate significant expenses associated with costly litigation of both non-fatal and fatal accidents. Based on empirical evidence, as well as calculation of death benefits of litigated cases, our estimates indicate that the cost of life can range from $250,000 to $4 million, and claims for non-fatal accidents can range between $25,000 to over $1 million. These settlements are usually dependent upon a number of factors, such as the severity of the accident, the age of the individual, loss of income earning potential, as well as the state in which the case is litigated, among other factors such as emotional distress. Not factored into these figures are the added costs of attorney fees and expert witness testimony. Avoid these costs up front with preventative action by investing in appropriate safety products and get adequate training on the proper use of these products. At Checkers, we believe there is no monetary value to put on a life, and this is why companies such as Caterpillar, Komatsu, Liebherr, and mines in over 30 countries worldwide use Checkers chalks to secure their vehicles and equipment. This short video will take you through a few simple but necessary steps you need to learn in order to chalk your vehicles and equipment effectively. Selecting the appropriate wheel chalk. Before you chalk a wheel, you need to be sure you've selected the correct type and number of chalks for the vehicle. First, cross-reference your vehicle's gross vehicle operating weight and tire diameter with the correct chalks on the Checkers Wheel Chalk Reference Guide. The wheel chalks referenced in this guide are based on 3 important factors. First, the gross vehicle operating weight, or GVOW. The heavier the vehicle gets, the stronger the wheel chalk needs to be. The second factor used to decide which chalk you should select is tire diameter. This chalk is too small and doesn't fit the wheel curvature. This would enable the wheel to vehicle roll right over the chalk. This chalk is the correct size and curvature for the wheel size. The third factor to consider is ensuring you have the appropriate number of chalks for the vehicle. For example, haul trucks with a payload greater than 240 tons will require the use of 4 Monster MC 3011 chalks, but always make sure you use the Checkers Wheel Chalk Reference Guide to identify exactly the type and number of chalks you should be using for your vehicle. Inspect your chalk. Wheel chalk should be inspected prior to use to ensure they are free from visible defects. If you see any signs of deterioration, such as cracks, chips, signs of stress, breakage, collapsing, or any type of deformation which may affect the performance of the chalk, then it should be discarded and replaced immediately. Once you're sure the chalk is in good working order, you can begin to use it to chalk the vehicle. Chalk placement. Proper wheel chalk placement is critical for the overall performance and effectiveness of wheel chalks. The chalk should always be placed squarely and firmly in the center of the tire tread. There should be little to no gap between the tire and the chalk, and you should always chalk on the downhill side of the tire. What follows is a quick summary of how many chalks you should use and where they should be placed for the different vehicles and equipment common to the mining industry. Chalking a haul truck with a payload greater than 240 tons. When chalking a haul truck with a payload greater than 240 tons on a downhill grade, you need to place the chalk on the downhill side of each of the front tires and place 1 chalk on the downhill side of each of the outer rear tires. When chalking a haul truck with a payload greater than 240 tons on an uphill grade, you need to place 1 chalk on the downhill side of each of the rear tires. If you're chalking a haul truck greater than 240 tons on a level grade or one that is undetermined, then you should place 1 chalk on each side of the front tire on one side of the vehicle. Chalking a haul truck with a payload less than 240 tons. When chalking a haul truck with a payload of less than 240 tons on a downhill grade, you need to place one chalk on the downhill side of each of the front tires. When chalking a haul truck with a payload of less than 240 tons on an uphill grade, you need to place one chalk on the downhill side of each of the outer rear tires. If you're chalking a haul truck with a payload of less than 240 tons on a level or undetermined grade, then you should place one chalk on each side of the front tire on one side of the vehicle. Chalking articulated trucks 3-axle. When chalking articulated trucks with 3 axles on a downhill grade, you need to place one chalk on the downhill side of each of the tires on the center axle. When chalking an articulated truck with 3 axles on an uphill grade, you need to place one chalk on the downhill side of each of the rear tires on the furthest downhill axle. When chalking an articulated truck with 3 axles on a level or undetermined grade, place one chalk on each side of the front tire on one side of the vehicle. Chalking mine support equipment with 2 axles. When chalking mine support equipment with 2 axles on a downhill grade, place one chalk on the downhill side of each of the front tires. When chalking mine equipment with 2 axles on an uphill grade, place one chalk on the downhill side of each of the rear tires or the outer rear tires if applicable. When chalking mine support equipment with 2 axles on a level or undetermined grade, place one chalk on each side of the front tire on one side of the vehicle. There are a few additional factors that can affect the performance of a wheel chalk and should be taken into consideration. 1. Tire type. Radial tires by design deflect more than a bias ply tire. This flexibility allows the tire to wrap around the wheel chalk, reducing the chalk's effectiveness. 2. Tire pressure. Varying tire pressures that naturally occur with changes in the environment can also affect the performance of the chalk. 3. Condition of ground surface. The condition of the ground, such as firm, soft, wet, dry, icy, and frozen, may also affect the performance of the chalk. Remember to reference the chalking guide to select the appropriate chalk, and feel free to contact us at Checkers if you need any further advice or assistance. Checkers wants to be your partner in chalk safety. We will gladly perform site evaluations and provide additional training on proper chalking procedures. We are dedicated to saving lives and protecting assets and look forward to working with you to achieve these goals.